My name's Connor Shivers. So the other day I was rewatching Man of Steel, and as I watched it, I realized just how many companies put their products in the movie and paid millions of dollars to have them put in there, just so people would see them and want to buy them. Whether that's a construction worker eating a Hardee's burger or a Sears commercial, a Sears in the back of a shot. There's just a lot of companies and ads that are in that movie. And as I watched that and as I thought about that, I thought about what are some other ways that companies use ads and use tactics to try to get people to buy their stuff. And so I've done a little bit of research on this, and I hope that through this speech today that I can give y'all some ways to protect yourselves and to defend against falling into those tactics just by informing you about some of them and making you aware of how companies are trying to manipulate you. So while I was doing research, I found a really good article by Paul Suggett, and Paul has a lot of different tactics and things in his article, but they really boil down to three main things, and that is scare tactics, the promise of happiness, and sex appeal. So the first one that I really want to talk to y'all about is scare tactics. So what is a scare tactic? So according to the Regional Center for Healthy Communities, scare tactics are intended to scare people into a desired behavior. So scare tactics typically will include something really bad happening, whether that be a car crash or a fire or just something really bad happening. And the premise of it is that if you had this product or if you had this insurance, then you'd be protected or this wouldn't happen to you. So some of you may have seen this guy on TV. This is the Allstate Mayhem guy. So the premise of this commercial is every commercial he's in, there's some kind of mayhem or some big disaster that happens that's caused by him because he's the mayhem. And the idea is that they want in your head is if I had Allstate, this wouldn't happen to me. A more extreme example of a scare tactic would be like PSAs put out by like the Highway Patrol about seat belts and texting while driving. They usually show some car crashes or some like people dying or things like that to really implement into people's minds that I need to put a seatbelt on. So the second tactic that I want to talk to y'all about is the promise of happiness. The promise of happiness tactic generally includes, when you see it on a commercial, it's usually somebody's having a really bad day and something bad's going wrong, and then they find this product, they see this product, and all of a sudden things get better. It's this idea that if I had this product, my life would be better. If I was using this product, my life would be better. So one example of this, Coke put out an ad campaign a few years ago called Open Happiness. And it's this idea that if I had a Coke, my life would be better. If you saw one of these commercials, typically it was like an overcast day and this person was just having a bad day and they usually look pretty sad. And then they drink a Coke or they drink a Diet Coke and then all of a sudden the sun comes out and everybody's happy and they're just having a great day. And Coke knows that people want to be happy. And it's this idea that they want to fill that void of happiness. You should fill it with a Coke. Well, how successful are these? Well, in an article by ICMR talking about how successful the campaign could be, they said, experts said that the campaign might gain momentum once it was rolled out in all key markets and might turn out to be more successful than their Coke's Out of Life campaign. And so Coke, in general, Coke knows that you want to be happy, and so they want you to associate happiness with buying a Coke. The third and final tactic that I want to talk to y'all about is sex appeal. And sex appeal is everywhere in media today. It's everywhere in marketing. I mean, it's in every company from Calvin Klein to American Eagle. I mean, it's everywhere, especially in the fashion industry. So one of the examples I found is this Axe ad. And so in this ad, you can see there's a young man spraying on Axe, and there's a woman materializing around him. And it's this idea that if I had Axe or if I used Axe, I'd be more attractive or I could get a relationship, and it's things like that. And it kind of plays off the same premise of the promise of happiness. They're trying to fill that void. They're trying to fill that inadequacy in people. And this idea that I'm not happy enough, so I should get a Coke, or I'm not attractive enough, so I should use X. And so they know that people don't think they're good enough or they don't have enough, so they try to get you to think, if I have this, it would fill that void. So I hope that sharing these things with you and that you can use these in your own life, whether that's defending against them or when you see it, you can kind of see it in your mind and not kind of fall for those tropes. So I want to thank y'all for y'all's time, and